A massive punch. Some new devil fruits and really cool looking characters have been named. One of my favourite OG warlords is still alive. Hey everyone, this is True Love with another chapter review. This time for chapter 1080 of One Piece. If you haven't read the chapter yet, then you better go right now because I'm going to spoil it. I'll wait here. Galaxy Fist! And now we sit and we wait for all the power scalers to start fighting about who's stronger out of Garp and Shanks, or Garp and Blackbeard, or Garp and Mihawk? Yeah, I don't know. I won't comment on that, but I will sit quietly in the back of some Discord server and eat popcorn and listen to everyone else arguing. Also, doesn't that last panel make you think that Koby is actually copping that massive Galaxy Fist right on the top of his head? But I digress. In all seriousness, we are now being drip-fed information as to what the top-tier Haki users in the One Piece universe are actually capable of. I remember the first time I saw Luffy's arm turn black, this is back when I still watched the anime, and thinking how awesome it looked and how incredible it was to see the damage that he could cause with it. Then I ended up catching up at Whole Cake Island. That's when I started reading. And I saw Katakuri's fists turn all square to show the reader how much stronger his armament Haki was than Luffy's. Believe it or not, I just kind of assumed that second level of Haki was the end of that. A welcome surprise to the new heights of strength in One Piece. But how wrong I was. Seeing Garp take out this entire city block, this plaza, with one massive punch when he's 100 feet, 100 meters even up in the air is as satisfying as it is impressive. I love the monkey family. I've said in videos before that I don't really like the lasers and stuff that characters were shooting out of their swords in the Wano anime. Contrary to almost everyone else, the Killer vs Zoro fight, I didn't really like it, seeing these. It was just lasers. It was like a Star Wars fight. It was like Dragon Ball Z or something. But something in me wants to give this a chance with Garp. I can't put my finger on it. I've really tried. I want to give it a chance here to show us something awesome. For instance, we're all kind of assuming that Shanks is a master of all three types of Haki. We're getting more and more evidence of that. But I wonder if Garp is still stronger in one of them. Just as masterful as Shanks at this stage, but perhaps just his beefy body is just more capable of outputting more power, or lends itself more naturally to one form of Haki. This chapter also gives us a little bit more information about the famous Rocky Port incident that seemed to be instigated by Law, which Koby resolved after Law had stolen the hearts of about 100 pirates. In this chapter, we discover that the incident actually took place on Hachinosu Island, also known as Full of Lead. I kind of prefer that name, to be honest. And we also find out that it involved San Juan Wolf of the Blackbeard Pirates, the giant, and he did a whole lot of damage to the actual port. Another thing we get in this chapter is that we learn a whole lot about Devil Fruit powers and users. We also get to hear one of Blackbeard's dreams, which is to have Hachinosu / Full of Lead, the pirate island, be recognized by the world government with him as King Blackbeard. That sounds awesome. A whole pirate kingdom led by Blackbeard, and I actually really hope that he gets his wish. Koby tells him that the government would collapse, it would never give in to such acts of terrorism, or to a terrorist like Blackbeard. And then Blackbeard has a very Blackbeard moment where he smiles. He looks jolly. He looks a little bit crazy, but he also looks genuinely happy and tells Koby not to make fun. Don't make light of people's dreams. Don't crush them. Don't piss on them. It's Oda reminding us that behind Blackbeard's success in the pirate world, behind the evil nature of him, he is still that same man that believes in dreams and doing anything you can in life to achieve them. The Blackbeard pirates have long been thought to be collecting overpowered devil fruits to give them easy buffs, but from what we're seeing here, they don't look that crazy or like they're, world breaking. Vasco Shot has the Glug Glug fruit, which makes him into a liquor man. Who knows what that actually means? He's depicted here sitting on a floating bubble. I wonder, did he generate that? It doesn't sound too crazy to think he generated that with a liquor fruit, I guess. But I wonder what his fruit actually does, especially in the aspect of combat. To be honest, the person who really stood out to me in this chapter wasn't Koby, it wasn't Garp, it was actually Vasco Shot. He has that one panel where he just looks so evil. He looks so intimidating and he looks so cruel. He's talking about how the easiest way to catch Kobe would be just to burn the whole island down. And you can tell by the way that he looks that it's no bluff. Also, his nose looks like, instead of it being dark red like an alcoholic person, it actually looks like it's black. Which, if his nose is like full of haki or something and it's just like a representation of how much stronger he's gotten, I'm going to piss myself laughing. This one panel of him has my head spinning about who's going to fight who in regards to the Straw Hats at the end of this whole story. And I seriously think that he's going to give someone a whole lot of trouble. One of the top guns from the Straw Hats, sorry. Another Blackbeard pirate that won a bit of favor from me in this chapter, for the actual complete opposite reason, is Avalo Pizarro. So Pizarro seems really funny and like some awesome comic relief within the Blackbeard pirates. He obviously doesn't take himself too seriously. He's kind of incapable of taking himself seriously, it seems. He's eaten the island fruit, which looks like it allows him to become one, to assimilate himself with the entire island. You can see in the short flashback, even in this chapter, that the big skull, bandana structure has changed its shape since Pizarro's moved in and started using it to talk to people. His quirk of saying nyan or meow is also constantly telling everyone that I'll tell teach. It's actually really making me laugh already. Thinking of Pizarro hanging out up there and just talking smack down to all the people, saying that he's going to dob on them for whatever naughty thing they're doing, it just brings a smile to my face and just makes me laugh. It's the juxtaposition of him being this big dangerous person that was imprisoned on level 6 of Impel Down. Even in this chapter, when Shiryu says, "Oh, I know you could have caught him if you wanted to," and Pizarro says, "Nah," like Blackbeard says, "I do too much damage." He's like, "I know I could have got him, but the collateral would have just been ridiculous." So he's obviously capable of a lot of damage, and then he has this silly, whingy side. I love it. The island fruit brings us another example of a fruit set, with one that is an just objectively stronger fruit. So Pika from the Don Quixote family had the stone fruit or something that allowed him to assimilate his entire body with stone and then manipulate it from the inside. Where Pizarro, it seems, can assimilate with the entire island, including the stone, including the structures. The whingy aspect of him that we discover in this chapter just brings some great character development into the Blackbeard pirates that we've all really been waiting for. Something beyond just being, menacing, strong, or evil, like basic bad guy traits. This is so One Piece, and I'm really looking forward to it. We've also been introduced to Sanmon Wolf's fruit, which is the giant fruit. So I just did a really quick look into his history. So he's a giant who then ate the giant fruit. So he's massive. Fruits like this giant one and the island fruit made me really wonder about who is going to fight who at the end of the series. Like, how is Oda going to choreograph a fight sequence with one of the antagonists larger than a building or an entire island and a straw hat that's normal size? I get it, we've seen Pika versus Zoro, but I also think, hey, we've already seen that fight. We've already seen Zoro versus someone who is, for all goods and purposes, was already as big as an island, Pika wasn't really, held back by the size of the rock in Dressrosa. He was massive. So I don't know what we need to see with someone who's as big as an island. Like, I'd love to see how Oda is going to spin it to make it interesting and new. Hopefully it goes back to, instead of just like a massive punch defeating someone like we saw with Kaido, it goes back to like pre-time skip One Piece, where the protagonists and like Luffy and everyone have to really think around corners to defeat people, like when he spat water on Crocodile, that sort of thing, so that he could punch him. I would actually like to see Monster Point Chopper versus a gigantic enemy, or even a new mech from Frankie. Maybe the entire Thousand Sunny can transform like an Autobot and join the fray. Now that would be awesome.
Autobots, transform and roll out!
Seeing Chopper versus Queen for a little bit, that was fun, but I really want to see Chopper step up into a combat position again. Obviously his Doctor feats are awesome and very much in character for him, but I also just want to see him smack the crap out of someone in Monster Point. We also get the names of the new Marines we were introduced to many chapters back who are chilling on the nearby G5 base. They have some really cool character designs and some quite basic ones. Prince Gruz is my favorite by far with his clay fruit that allows him to make these little clay people that are actually quite strong. We see their big muscly forms in action in the streets, herding the local pirates into the awaiting ambush. Now, when one of them gets its head cut off, you see that it says, "That stings." So I wonder if that particular clay man was actually a sentient to some degree and was saying that it felt pain, or if that was Prince Gruz feeling the pain from these guys. They're obviously quite strong. He's obviously able to make a lot of them. I wonder if one of the downsides is that he actually feels the pain that they take on when they're fighting. It makes great narrative sense that the 4 to 5 man main team of Marines are so well coordinated. They're trained by the Navy, a military organization, and they are mentored by none other than Garp himself. Seeing the way that they worked together, they herded the pirates into the middle of the plaza, cut off their escape by making the buildings move, which then set up Garp for his mega punch of doom, was just awesome. So they've infiltrated the city. They've already had a plan. They're all communicating via the transponder snails, and the whole plan goes off without a hitch. These guys are awesome, and it's great to see antagonists and to see the military be so good at their job. And how about the ship shooting out of the ocean just like the Sunny? I wonder if we'll get an explanation of how they make it happen, whether it's someone on board with a devil fruit or if it's mechanical, like with the Sunny. Seeing Garp cry laughing as they shoot through the air gets me so excited to see him in action. I honestly doubt that the present members of Blackbeard's crew can take this group of Marines. I really doubt it, purely because of Garp. They would absolutely stomp the rest of them, but it would quickly turn into Garp and Kobe fighting and the rest of them all supporting. And I don't see anyone being even close to Garp, and these Marines who are actually good at their job, they would actually be able to help and support. So maybe Garp would, mid-diff them, and then who knows, what if Blackbeard then arrives to a slightly tired or slightly beat up version of Garp that he can actually defeat. So for a fairly quick chapter, we actually got a fair bit of meat here. We got some screen time with Blackbeard pirates, we got some new and interesting Marines, and a punch whose epicness rivals anything Luffy has thrown. We still need to find out how Blackbeard's fight with Law went, and I actually think we're about to. Anyways, that is all from me. You all have an awesome weekend, and I will talk to you when the next chapter drops. Thank you. Alright, also guys, if you've listened this far, please consider hitting the subscribe button, or just leaving a comment down below. Apparently all of that is going to help me out in the algorithm, and I would love my videos to be seen by more people. So if you've enjoyed it at all, please do me a favor, maybe share it, maybe comment, maybe subscribe, whatever. If not, I appreciate you anyway. Thank you.